Hey, List of Nation, and welcome back to another journey into the annals of history. Or, more accurately, into history's biggest cold cases. We've all heard of the rise and fall of empires, the glorious sagas of conquest and decline. But what about the civilizations that pulled a disappearing act so complete, so utterly baffling, that historians are still scratching their heads? Today, we're counting down the ancient societies that didn't just fade, they vanished. Poof! Gone, leaving behind a legacy of magnificent ruins, tantalizing artifacts, and absolutely no forwarding address. So grab your archaeological shovel and your best detective hat, because these are the civilizations that pulled the ultimate Irish goodbye on history. Let's dive in with number 5, the Olmec civilization. Kicking off our list, we head to the humid lowlands of south-central Mexico around 1400 to 400 BCE. Meet the Olmec. These guys weren't just ancient, they were the ancient. Often considered the mother culture of Mesoamerica, the Olmec practically invented civilization in the region. They were the trendsetters, the OG architects of complex societies here. And seriously, were they trendsetters? Think monumental art, like those absolutely enormous colossal heads, some weighing up to 40 tons. Imagine moving that without modern machinery. They had sophisticated calendrical systems, possibly the first writing in the Americas, and even ball courts. They were basically living the high life, inventing everything from irrigation to the concept of a weekend, probably. Then, around 400 BCE, their major urban centers like La Venta and San Lorenzo were abandoned. Not conquered, not sacked, just empty. It's like everyone woke up one morning and collectively decided, you know what? I'm kind of over this whole civilization thing. Let's go somewhere else and not tell anyone. Theories range from environmental changes like river course shifts leading to agricultural decline to internal social unrest. But there's no clear evidence of invasion, just a quiet, enigmatic fade. One minute they're carving giant heads, the next it's crickets. It makes you wonder if they just got tired of explaining their advanced culture to visiting barbarians. Number 4, the Indus Valley civilization. Now, let's jet across the globe to what is now Pakistan and northwest India, to about 2500 to 1900 BCE, for the Indus Valley civilization, also known as the Harappan civilization. This was no small-time operation. At its peak, it was one of the 3 early civilizations of the Old World, alongside ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. And it was massive, covering over 1 million square kilometers, larger than any other ancient civilization of its time. These folks were urban planning gurus. Their cities, like Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa, boasted incredible uniformity. Grid layouts, standardized weights and measures, elaborate drainage systems, and even public baths. They apparently had no grand palaces or temples, no obvious signs of a single ruler, and strangely, very few weapons. They were a peaceful, highly organized society, seemingly run by really efficient city planners, and arguably the world's first ever sanitation department. So, what happened to this technologically advanced, seemingly utopian society? Around 1900 BCE, it started to decline, and by 1700 BCE, the great cities were largely abandoned. Poof. Theories include climate change drying up the Gagar-Hakra river system, making agriculture unsustainable. Others suggest tectonic uplift rerouted rivers, or perhaps even an invasion by Indo-Aryan tribes. But none of these fully explain the wholesale, simultaneous collapse of such a vast and resilient civilization. It's almost as if they looked at their perfect sewer systems and thought, you know what? This is too good. Let's quit while we're ahead. Number 3. The Moche civilization. Our next vanishing act brings us back to the Americas, specifically the northern coast of Peru, from around 100 to 800 CE. Enter the Moche. These guys were agricultural masters, turning desert into fertile land with intricate irrigation canals. But what they're really famous for is their incredibly advanced craftsmanship, especially their pottery. Their ceramic vessels are like historical comic books, depicting everything from daily life and religious rituals to incredibly detailed and sometimes graphic sex acts. They also built massive pyramids made of adobe brick. The Huaca del Sol and Huaca de la Luna are still awe-inspiring today. And let's not forget their elaborate gold and silver metallurgy. The Lord of Sipon's tomb is practically a treasure chest. These were innovative, artistic, and frankly, a bit dramatic people. However, by 800 CE, the Moche had vanished. The prevailing theory points to a catastrophic series of natural disasters. We're talking about a super El Niño cycle that brought decades of intense rains, leading to massive flooding and mudslides, followed by severe droughts. Imagine enduring years of alternating Noah's Ark levels of rain and then Mad Max levels of drought. It would break anyone's spirit. The climate chaos likely led to famine, social unrest, and a loss of faith in their leaders, who were believed to communicate with the gods. While some Moche cultural elements persisted in later groups, the distinct Moche polity and cities simply ceased to be. Number 2, the Rapa Nui Easter Island civilization. For number 2, we're heading to one of the most isolated inhabited islands on Earth, Easter Island, or Rapa Nui in the southeastern Pacific Ocean. Think about it, a tiny speck of land, thousands of miles from anywhere. Polynesians settled here around 1200 CE, bringing with them a vibrant culture and the ambition to create some of the most iconic head-scratching statues ever, the Moai. These colossal stone figures, some weighing over 75 tons, were carved and moved across the island to their ceremonial platforms. How? We still have a lot of theories, most of which involve a lot of ropes, teamwork, and probably a few strained backs. They also had a unique written language, Rongorongo, which remains undeciphered. So, what happened to the sophisticated society that managed to carve and move these giants? By the 18th century, when Europeans first arrived, the island's population had plummeted, the Moai were being toppled, and the once forested island was largely barren. The most accepted theory is ecocide. The Rapa Nui people, in their quest to raise and move Moai, cut down all their trees, leading to soil erosion, resource depletion, and a complete ecological collapse. This spiraled into warfare, cannibalism, and societal breakdown. It's a stark cautionary tale about unsustainable resource management and maybe a touch of too much focus on giant stone heads. The arrival of European diseases and slave raids in the 19th century delivered the final blow to the remnants of their unique culture. Basically, it's what happens when everyone decides to build a bigger monument than their neighbor, and nobody thinks about where the wood for the next barbecue is coming from. Number 1, the Tiwanaku Empire. Our top spot goes to a civilization that literally reached for the sky. The Tiwanaku Empire, centered around the city of Tiwanaku in modern-day Bolivia, near the shores of Lake Titicaca at an elevation of nearly 13,000 feet. From around 300 to 1000 CE, these highlanders created a powerful and sophisticated pre-Incan empire that influenced much of the southern Andes. They were master stonemasons, creating incredibly precise, interlocking stone constructions without mortar, like the Gateway of the Sun. They also developed ingenious agricultural techniques, like raised field systems, called sucacolas, that allowed them to grow crops in harsh, high-altitude conditions, efficiently using water and creating microclimates. Imagine farming at an altitude where most people get winded just walking. They were tough, smart, and knew how to throw a good party at the top of the world. But like all good parties, this one eventually ended. Around 1000 to 1100 CE, the Tiwanaku Empire vanished. The thriving urban center was abandoned, and its widespread influence collapsed. The leading theory chalks it up to a prolonged, severe drought that lasted for decades, potentially even centuries. Their elaborate agricultural systems, dependent on Lake Titicaca's waters, would have failed, leading to widespread famine and a complete breakdown of their social and political structures. It's a classic case of Mother Nature saying, "You think you're so clever with your raised fields? Watch this." The high-altitude environment, once their strength, became their undoing, leaving behind monumental ruins as a testament to their ambition and a mystery for future generations. And there you have it, folks. 5 incredible civilizations that didn't just fall, they practically evaporated, leaving us with more questions than answers. Whether it was environmental catastrophe, social unraveling, or just a very well-executed group vanishing act, these ancient mysteries remind us that even the most powerful and advanced societies are fragile. Which of these vanished civilizations do you find the most baffling? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this historical deep dive, be sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more epic lists, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.